It's got electrolytes.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
We need to talk about this particular movie. And if you know anything about this particular movie, it will usually fall under the lines of it is literally a documentary or how it predicted everything wrong with our society today. Yes, we're going to be talking about The Idiocracy, released all the way back in 2006 and met with underwhelming success, partly because of the movie distributor. Fox really did not like the movie because of its, well, interesting themes and also not to offend any particular advertisers. In short, the movie depicts a future society where dumb people have literally bred out all the smart people. Yeah, we're going to be talking about eugenics in this video, guys. So the year is 2505 and holy shit, it is nasty. Actual multi-story buildings of garbage. People have replaced drinking water with a sports drink called Brondo, which they also use to irrigate their crops. And the president of the United States is a former pro wrestler and a porn star. I can kind of see how this might be prophetic after all. So the whole premise of this movie, if you have not gotten by now, is that in this society there are no smart people left. Everyone has turned vulgar, insane, and just stupid. That's literally the whole movie. So I don't know if you have watched this movie. If you have, let me know down what you think about it. For me, I watched it recently just before writing the script because literally everyone would not shut up about it. By the way people talk about this movie, you would expect it to be some sort of a grand wise prophecy about our society and how we need to get our shit together as humans. After I finally decided to drag my ass and watch the movie for making an essay, all I can say is it's stupid and certainly not prophetic. Sorry to disappoint you. Maybe I'm not familiar with American humor. I'm not American. I don't really watch comedy movies, but this movie is just kind of lame. So where do I start? Eugenics, yes. Let's start with that, okay? The movie starts off by showing a couple with a relatively high IQ in the beginning of the movie. This is contrasted when the movie shows a couple which seems to be the stereotypical representation of the rural American class. You might call them as rednecks or hillbillies, characterized by their general lack of education and belonging to a lower economic class. They generally tend to have a lot of children, which is what the movie shows in the following. It is again contrasted by the same couple from before, the hyper-planning, logical, white couple trying for children but failing continuously. This comparison goes on for a few more sequences, which ends up with the lower IQ couple, or couples, yes, there's some adultery going on, having a comically large amount of children, and this goes on for multiple generations, and essentially the smart people literally get bred out and only dumber people reproduce. 500 years later, what you have is the earth with the descendants of the say dumb people, and the smart people, well, they did not fuck, so they're dead now. That's the logic here. If you have thought about it properly for even a bit, yeah, this is not how smartness works. Now, there is a genetic component to IQ, and to dismiss it is going to be wrong. However, you cannot fuck smartness out of society. I don't. This needs to be said for some people, and people actually think IQ works like this when they saw this movie. Rather than explaining how the society got to where it is, the movie picks out the most lame and frankly unimaginative plot to explain how society turned out the way it did in the movie. In a country where the education system is frankly disastrous and teachers are being paid like shit, and the attention span of the average 12-year-old is wrecked by brain rot. Also, not to mention the current administration frankly is actively defunding science, and it already looks down on liberal arts degree, and you are telling me that people got dumb because smart people did not fuck enough. The system is happily making the people dumber because they benefit from that. Now, I'm aware the movie was made all the way back in the good old 2006, before all the economy came crashing down, and frankly, we have not healed from that part. But it was in a different time, right? No one would have predicted Donald Trump, the television guy, to get into politics.
And I'm going to sue you if I have to. Do you understand me?
Yes, I hung up. You didn't get disconnected, I hung up.
And I'm certainly not implying that the director, Mike Judge, is a eugenicist or a 19th century race scientist. But the beginning of the movie is just lame. Am I taking this movie too seriously? I am, because other people are taking it seriously. You know, I would love for this movie to be treated as just another dumb movie, because it really is just another dumb movie. But people have treated this movie like it's the work of some genius, and while I can understand why they might feel the way they feel, well, because of the state of the world, right? Nonetheless, moving on. Before that, a quick subscription checkpoint. Are you subscribed? I would really appreciate if you do so. I'm trying to reach 200 subscribers, and it would be great if you help me out achieve that. This brings me to point number 2. Everyone is not dumb. In the movie, the protagonist Joe finds out that he's the smartest man alive when he takes an IQ test. Everyone else around him is, well, not the brightest, including the president, Herbert Camacho, and his whole administration. And I will be the first one to say it. The world of idiocracy is way more sinister than what you might have thought. Setting the eugenics aside for a while, this is the thing that gets me pissed about this movie. We don't really know what happens to Brondo. What is Brondo? In the movie, it's the sports energy drink that seems to have an absolute corporate monopoly over, well, everything in the society.
How come nobody's buying Brondo the Thirst Mutilator?
Ah, shit. Half the country works for Brondo.
Not anymore! The stock has dropped to zero!
And I don't think it's a far-fetched idea to assume that people running Brondo are actually very, very smart people with a lot of power in their hands, which they actually do in the movie.
Water, the basic component of all life, had been deemed a threat to Brondo's profit margin when the Brondo Corporation simply bought the FDA and the FCC.
And let me tell you a little secret here. Most people running corporations and monopolies are not your friendly, dumb neighbors. They are ruthless people without any morals, and they tend to be very cold and, unfortunately, smart individuals, which you don't see anyone be in the movie. It is ultimately very likely that the few people running Brondo are powerful and smart individuals, and they basically control society at this point behind the scenes. The president is just there for fun and is actually powerless and can't do anything. You know, that would be a great plot. Corporations and monopolies controlling everything in society filled with dumb people, and also making them more dumber by poisoning their food and water. Well, not really water, because everyone drinks Brondo. It's got electrolytes.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
You see where I'm going with this? The movie progresses to the end by showing Joe, the only smart person alive, convincing people that plants do need water to grow and not Brondo. After that, it's all uphill from there. People finally start believing what he says, and he even becomes the next president after Herbert Camacho. Smooth sailing, right? We don't know what happens to Brondo and the people running behind it, who would have not taken very nicely to being challenged. In the real world, Joe would be mysteriously taken out one night, you know. He would not be elected again after Brondo runs hundreds of ads against him and rallying people working for them to basically lynch him, right? And it seems like everyone works for Brondo in this world, so you get the idea. And while the fictional world of idiocracy might be dumb, violence is certainly not a rare occurrence. They have managed to make a giant coliseum where people each other in very interesting ways. So it's not out of the question if people just lynch Joe, the only smart person alive, because he said a few nasty things about Brondo, right? And this leads me to the final segment of this video. Is the movie an optimistic or a pessimistic portrayal of human society? As I have said before, people tend to take this movie quite seriously and believe it to be some sort of a prophetic portrayal of human society. They look at the current political climate, discourse, and general fragmentation of society and find the movie to be more accurate as years go by. And you will find people actually defending characters like the president Herbert Camacho and saying that he's actually pretty smart. This is something that I agree. Because, well, he has good intentions, because he actually cares about his people and wants to make their situation better. Compare that with today, I would absolutely have a President Comancho over Donald J. Trump every single day. At least he wasn't in the Epstein list and doesn't start a war with Iran for Benjamin Netanyahu. I really wonder what happens to Israel in the movie. The thing with this movie is that it is not even remotely political, at least in my opinion, and that's the best or the worst part about the movie. You can be a conservative, a communist, or a liberal and reference this movie to sound smarter than everyone else. Hey look, people who believe that there can be more than two genders, Idiocracy was so right. Hey look, people worshipping corporations and a single mega powerful company owns everything, Idiocracy was so right. People are watching too much TV, Idiocracy was too right. You can basically take the movie and use it and interpret it in whatever way you want, according to whatever political position you want and represent. In the end, Idiocracy gets a 4.2 out of 10 for me. I only laughed a couple times. The welcome to Costco, I love you.
Welcome to Costco, I love you. Welcome to Costco, I love you.
Was actually funny. I'm not even being ironic. That was actually pretty fucking funny. So yeah, this is some sort of a review about Idiocracy. It's kind of a dumb movie. It really is a dumb movie. It's not thought-provoking or anything, at least for me, you know. Let me know down below what you think in the comments. Like the video and subscribe. You clearly made it to the end of the video, and it's possible you really liked it or you hated it and disagreed with everything that I just said. Thank you, take care, and I'll see you guys next time.